Ciao Juventini of the world. My name is Giuseppe. Welcome back on the channel. It's a hard life. Huh? It's a hard life. It's a hard life. Life is hard, and also the life is hard. Ciao to all the people in the chat. I hope you're all doing well. Why am I with a disgusted face? Why is my face like that? Because on top of Juventus doing 1-1 versus Venezia, I had to swallow the fact of Inter winning 4-0. I will tell it. I don't say that much on the channel because you know that if there is a team that I really don't like, it's Inter. They are fantastic at the moment. It is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is, guys. Inter is playing fantastic. 4-0 versus Cagliari. Napoli lost. Could have said, oh, great. Milan drew. We could have said, great. But the reality is something else, guys. The reality is this. The reality is that if we are looking at the table, the reality is saying that Inter has 40 points. Juventus has 28. That's a difference of 12 points. That's a lot. 12 points is 4 games. The reality says that Milan has 39. Reality says that Atalanta has 37. The reality is saying that Napoli has 36. The reality is saying that Fiorentina has 30. The reality is saying that Empoli is doing nearly as good as us with 26. That's the reality. That's the reality. And it hurts. And that's why I wanted to spend a bit of time with you guys. This time we will reverse the roles. We will reverse the roles. You know that most of the time I am the positive one that is trying to find beautiful and positive news to share with you about our beloved Juventus. Today I want you to give me solutions, to give me a bit of help, to give me a bit of positivity. I need it. I need it. I know that Dan Barile started immediately early this afternoon checking into the live to write that Icardi will go to Juve. Dan, the other Dan, not Dan Barile, but Dan Avola is saying that he can't sleep anymore. Ricardo from Australia is waking up super early just to check into the chat and to tell that it's the morning in Australia, a Monday morning. Probably it's even worse than here, where it's Sunday night. Ciao, Mark. Ciao, Thomas Macluf, who is always here. Always here. Always here. Thomas is always here. The season is over. Bianconero, 88. Still confused. We played bad, huh? We played bad. Ciao, Yusef. Ciao, all the people. Ciao, Ron. I don't actually know too much what to say. We will find inspiration. We will speak about can we do it in the top 4. We'll try to find that inspiration. Let's see. Let's see if we can do it or not. Ahmed is always the positive one. Huh? Ahmed is always the positive one with a maximum of like, guys. Maximum of like. Antonio Sad, what is Antonio saying? Max, 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 super max. Max, 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 super max. So, the only thing that we can celebrate this year is super max. But which max? Not Max Allegri. It's the other Max. Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen that did really great. I watched Formula 1 today. Thank you to Mark S, who's doing the donation. Thank you, buddy. He's saying wrong players, wrong coach, wrong time. It's over. Hey! So let's start from that one. We are game day 17. We have 38 game days. That means that there are only 2 games before the first half, the first 50% of Serie A are over. We have 12 points from the first one. We have a lot of points from the 4th spot. It's Napoli now because they have 36. We have no. What am I saying? No, guys. Guys, wait. How many points do we have from 8 points? 8 points from top four. 8 points from top four. So it's a bit less than 9 points. But don't forget that Napoli already won versus us. So at the moment they have the advantage. They have the advantage about us. So wrong players. I will start with that one. Wrong players. Yes, it's true. But we already knew since a few times that we had some wrong players. Wrong coach. Probably it's the wrong coach at the moment with the team that he has at his disposal. Then I will never be too harsh with players, with the coach, with the management, because you know my line. And my line is always the same. It will not change from one day to another for a draw or for a loss. My line is always the same. You win together, you lose together. For me, it's everyone is to blame in that situation. There are no alibi. Juventus is not performing as they should. Is it over? For the Scudetto, it was already over for since a few time. If you are speaking about the top four, I said it earlier, it will be really hard this year. I knew that it will be a ups and down season. I really knew it. It was predictable, absolutely, yes. But Juventus is at a moment where we will have to think. We really have to think, what can we do with the remaining part of the season? There is a big difference, guys. There is a big difference between a normal club who has an owner and it's doing whatever he wants, and then a club like Juventus and like other clubs in the world where they have shareholders, okay? When you have shareholders, that means that other people, external people, you can do it, other people can do it, they can invest money into the club. And when they invest money into the club, what is your goal? If you invest your own money into a club or into Apple or into some action, some shares, whatever, it's to win money. It's to win money. So it's really hard for Juventus to say it will be a transitional year. It will be a year where we put Ramsey out of the team, we put Rabiot out of the team, Arthur, we put Alexandro out of the team, we put everyone out of the team, and we start with calling back Rovella, Fagioli, Mattias Sule, Miretti, De Winter, Dragusin, for example. I'm just giving you some names, and we start from scratch and we plan in 3 years. You can't do that. You can't do that because you have shareholders that they ask you to do better as what you were doing in terms of brand as Juventus, but also as sportive results, especially the last ones. So a full squad rebuild can't happen from one day to another for two reasons. The first one is what I just explained, because you have shareholders that wants Juventus to win immediately, because they invested money, because these were the objectives that Juventus always put into their program, where when you sign in, when you put your money, you are putting your money in a club that has as a target to go to win. The second one, why is it impossible to do a full squad rebuild? Because you don't have the necessary resources in terms of money to change again your total team. So it's hard. So how can you do that? How will you be actually able to change the way of Juventus performances is with the team that we have at the moment, and maybe thanks to January doing some possible transactions. And actually you need a really great scout that worked already since a few time, that already anticipated the mass and is going into players, or maybe going to find a solution thanks to loans. And that's where the name of Mauro Icardi comes back. Will he come back to Juve? Come back. Will he come back to Serie A? And will he sign for Juve? Yes or no? We know that Mauro Icardi, since a really long time, is flirting with Juventus. Not with nobody hided that he wanted to come back in Serie A, where he had his best year of his career. He went to Paris Saint-Germain because he was out of the team of Inter. He went there, he tried, and of course he's not playing anymore. He had his own problems. It's hard. It's really hard to find solutions at the moment, guys. Really hard, really hard. So at the moment, I don't know, because we have a big problem. We have a big problem. Luckily, there are some people that are cheering me up while I am speaking about all the negative things that are surrounding us. And when I'm a bit in a labyrinth, I'm a bit in a labyrinth because for one of the first time, I can't give you the right answers. I can't tell you today what we should do tomorrow. If I would be at Juventus in that very moment, it would be really difficult for me. We can speak like Dimas about grinta. We can speak about grinta, but is it the first time that we are doing it? No. We had these kind of messages of a Giorgio Chiellini asking to the team to give back after Juventus giving so much to them. It didn't work. We went into the Retiro. It worked for 2 games. And then it went out. What should we do with the players? Taking all of them and putting them in a hotel for the rest of the remaining year. I don't know if that's the solution, because this kind of retiro, retirement, it works like a boost, an energy boost. It works and then it's over. Beppe, we should speak about our medical team. Why is that our players spend months to heal over and over again? And you know, with Mark, if you were there yesterday in the live, or if you watch it back, that my biggest signing for January would be a medical team, a medical guru that comes and that are helping us about that, because it's really hard for us. And it's not the first season. It started already with Allegri first. Then you can say it's the team of Allegri that is not good enough, but then it continued with Sarri, it continued with Pirlo, and it's continuing now. That's also one of the big problems we have. Yesterday, we will not find any alibi for the loss because we lost yesterday versus Venezia. We did 1-1, but it's a loss. But if you don't have so many players, it's hard, especially, guys, we are losing Dybala, you are losing Chiesa, you don't have a top form McKennie, for example, at the moment, that is able actually to pair together with Locatelli. Start to be really complicated. Defensive solidity with a Danilo, hard. You can't use the skills of Cuadrado offensively. You are asking Cuadrado to play game in, game out on the right side, covering again up and down, because when he was playing the 2 games together with Kulusevski was actually a bit invisible up front. He was a bit invisible, and that's the problem with Cuadrado, having to do these 2 roles. Also for him, the age start to count, because he starts to be nearly 34. So we have a lot of problems. For me, the biggest one, and I want really to say thank you to Stefan Firsea, that became a member of the channel today. Grande. Thank you, Stefan. You know, if you want to join the membership of the channel, it's really easy. The link is into the description. Grande. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, really, buddy. But if I forgot what I wanted to say. I should play actually fast forward. No, actually in the back to remember what I was saying. But we are in a really difficult moment. Should Nedved take more responsibility? Nobody is criticizing him. I believe that Nedved, from the moment that some people see his face, they are criticizing him probably a bit too much. No, I believe that medical staff is at fault. Yes, of course. On the other hand, today I saw a lot of criticism towards Massimiliano Allegri about the fact that Massimiliano Allegri's fault that Dybala is injured again. Why? Because Allegri said that Dybala was not feeling well at halftime versus Malmö, and that they were thinking that he was feeling better. He played, and apparently it was not like that. He was a bit worried about the healthy situation of Dybala. But if you go on transfer market, guys, and I'm sure you all already did, I don't believe that it's only the responsibility of Allegri, guys. A player like Dybala, after the experience he has, also it's not his first injury, he should start to understand when it's the moment to say, no, I can't, or yes, I can play. He did the mistake with Lyon to come back to play the Champions League game. I don't know if you remember that. He did the mistake now again. It started to be really a problem. I want to go into the injuries of Dybala as we were speaking. I don't know why I clicked on the kitchen. I don't want to kick on kitchen things, but if you go on Dybala, injury of history, we will see them together, guys. what do we see? We see a lot. We see a lot. We see a lot. You see, from the moment from 1920, look here, 18 games missed, 5 games missed, 1 game missed, and you see, it starts to be really, really, really a lot. If you see the games that Dybala played current season, you will see it even more easy. Look, he played 2 games, he was injured. No, this time he was traveling. Sorry, he was traveling. Here, injury on the 29th of September versus Chelsea, didn't play. Then here, October, he continued, he didn't play. He played 3 games, he was injured. He played 4 games, he was injured. Start to be really a problem, especially for a player that is about to lose his contract with Juve. Why? Because at the end of the year he has no contract. It should have been renewed. Juventus already promised him. They already spoke about it. Now he has again these kind of recurrent problems. It starts to be a really big problem. And we have a lot. We have medical issues, like Mark was saying. We have a lot. We have a lot, and I don't know what are the solutions at the moment, because we spoke about a lot of formations, possible formation. How should we play? Should we play a 4-2-3-1? Should we play a 4-3-3, 3-5-2, 4-4-2? You know, we were criticizing Allegri for not playing well offensively. Thank you, Daki. We were criticizing Allegri for not playing that 4-2-3-1, and he played that 4-2-3-1. We were criticizing him for not playing youth players, and he tried to insert some. Probably not enough, okay, but he played with the winter. He gave his chance to Matthias Soulé in the last minutes of the game. He played with Caio Giorgi instead of Moisken the last game, and he tried. He tried also playing a bit more offensively, and you see it on the average positions of the player. You see it on our shots on target, but then if you look at stats, that it's quite easy. The stats of the expected goals, you know that stat XG, the expected goals, you see that Juventus goes towards the 2.5 every game. But the problem is that if you have an expected goals of 2.53 and you just score 1 goal, it's not enough. So what's really the problem? Is it only Allegri? Because here I am not here to defend Allegri, absolutely not. Because as I told you in the beginning of the live, for me, every component and aspect of the Juventus FC club is at fault. Also we, Juventus supporters, we are all at fault in that situation. But he tried and he failed. Players, they tried and they failed. How is it possible that a Rabiot-Alexandro combination on the left side of the field after a basic pass is putting it in the air? We don't understand. We have a lot of problems. I'm just speaking a bit of things that are totally not coherent one with the other, but it's because it's a hard stop. So let's try to structure a bit in what I am saying, guys. Zaki, and thank you for the donation, buddy, saying bit of improvement with Weston and Kulusevski, and then the injuries. The captain can't play as often as we need. We are struggling to perform, and bad luck of injuries at the same time. And the best combination, but continuity is needed. I agree with continuity. And when I saw Allegri again starting with that 4-2-3-1, I was surprised, because I didn't expect that we would go again with a 4-2-3-1 without Kulusevski, for example. But he did. He continued to play that 4-2-3-1, and I believe it's in sign of continuity. Now you have a few elements that are difficult to have and to continue to have continuity is the availability of players due to injuries, and we know it because Weston McKennie, he was insisting in him and he went injured. Federico Chiesa, he was insisting in him and he went injured. It's hard to find continuity in 11 men, especially because our team, they have different characteristics, and that makes it really hard to have that continuity. Then I agree. We should find from now on until the next two games a continuity in men's information, insisting in that maybe 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, but choose one. And for me, the biggest solution would be you choose one You know it will not be perfect, and in January you try to address according to what you chose. Do you choose a 4-3-3? Okay, you go for it. What do you want to do with Locatelli? You want to play Locatelli on the left as a box-to-box, and I'm not speaking about a left winger, a box-to-box. You want to play with him to have his offensive skills. Let's go, try it. Then find a regista that is able to help you, like a Zaccaria, for example, that will not build the game, but that will probably help you as a regista to defend, to cover a bit a Locatelli and a Weston McKennie that can go up and down easily box to box. You don't want to play like that, you want to play with a double pivot in a 4-2-3-1, okay, that means that Locatelli will continue to play there, but then you need to find another one next to him. Do we need a striker in that 4-2-3-1? Yes, because we saw that Morata or Keane or Caio Giorgi are not the players to do that position, and then you will have to go for a forwards. But find a solution, find one. In my opinion, Beppe, Dybala is not the future of Juve, and it will be a massive decision. Wait, let me read it again. Beppe, just my opinion. But Dybala is not the future of Juventus. It will be a massive decision. You know that here on the channel I have been criticized a lot of time when I was not in favor of building a project around one player, whoever the player is. I'm never a big fan of these kind of things. Why? Because if the players decide tomorrow to be not motivated anymore, you have a problem. If the player decides to leave, you have a problem if you don't find his replacement with the same qualities and skills. If you build on a player and he is injured, you have a problem. So you should build around an idea of football. Let's not speak too much about the moment of Barcelona, but how was Barcelona great is because they always believed in a way of playing, a mentality, a DNA, and whoever player was actually playing from the young age, from 6-7 years old, they were already playing with that DNA, with that football idea. The coaches that were arriving at Barcelona, they were playing with that identity of football, and the new players that were integrating the team were playing that way of football. That's why we continue to see a kind of tiki-taka even without Pep Guardiola, for example, so insisting on a DNA of a football. The problem is that Juventus today, after having sacked Allegri the first time, they wanted to change that identity, that DNA of a solid Juve that was playing with grinta, that was putting fear on their opponents, that had a football that was not defensive but balanced. A balanced football. They tried to go forward. We made some mistakes also with the transfer markets. We did it. We are paying the consequences. I don't want to speak today about Holy Marotta, because Marotta did great things but also did bad things. What did he great? A lot of things, because if Juventus were at the top, it was also and especially thanks to Marotta, but it also did some really difficult and things for him, but also for the successor that was Paratici, extending Matuidi, extending Rugani, extending or buying De Sciglio, extending, for example, Khedira, and all these players made us really in a really difficult position after signing Cristiano Ronaldo, because these players, they didn't want to leave anymore. Mandzukic, for example. So we all made mistakes and we are paying now all the consequences. Cristiano Ronaldo was an upgrade normally for Juventus to go for international glory, not only the Champions League, but Champions League branding, everything. And actually he covered a lot of problems that we had, that we saw, that we identified, not only the fans, because the fans were speaking about it. But we have a problem. We have a problem. Yes, it's true, we have a problem. Why is Juventus not able to see them? I don't believe that Juventus didn't see them. They saw them, but they couldn't do nothing about it because you have some contracts, and that makes it really difficult. Stefan Firsea, Napoli have 5 on 18 points in the last 6 matches. I think they will lose another 3 to Milan, and we have a chance to beat them in January at home. I saw the calendar of January. Guys, the calendar of January is scary. Is really scary. First of all, I want to show you a tweet of Romeo Agresti today, and then I will show you the calendar. So let me go on Romeo Agresti It's an important one because he tweeted something today. It was in Italian. I will translate you. You probably already did. Let me check. Here it is. Here it is. So I will translate you. The projections made, it's not, he didn't calculate it. It was data and stats from Opta. They were saying the projection, the idea of the top four, so the last one in the top four, is around 78, 82 points. Okay, if, and it's a big if, it's not even sure because we are playing Bologna and then another game. If Juventus would win the next two remaining games, so finishing the first half of the season, winning the last two games, we will close it with 34 points. Okay, if it's an ideal world, because we need to win these two games. That means to arrive at these 78, 82 points, we'll have to go and win 46 points. That means 12 points more than what we already did now. 46 points. That's a lot. That's actually, when we go back to OneFootball, what Inter should do if they win the next two remaining games. So you should actually travel to a Scudetto runner journey to achieve the top four. So you should actually do in the return of the second part of the season what Inter is doing to win the Scudetto, but you should do it with the idea we should enter in Champions League. The thing is, in January, guys, it's not again the same mirror calendar where you were playing the first game and you play again the first game, second, no, because everything was mixed. You are playing other calendars because we play immediately in January Napoli, Roma, Udinese and Milan only in January, and in the middle of these games we are even playing the Supercoppa versus Inter. Luckily we don't have to travel, but we start with Napoli on the 6th, and it's always a difficult one, the 6th of January. Napoli, Roma, Udinese, Milan, with Inter there. January, guys, we were not able to win versus Venezia. That one will be really hard and difficult, guys. Really hard and difficult. Really hard. Really hard. I don't know what Steve Cano was saying. I will try to find a band. I couldn't follow anymore, guys. I couldn't follow. Ciao, Colo. Del Piero had a bigger injury but still played until his 30s. Dybala has had many small injuries and is only 28. I think this conditioning and physicality is poor. Del Piero, we saw the big injury he had in 98 in the stadium of Udinese was a tough one. And he never really achieved anymore his level of pre-injury. But he had the mentality. Del Piero was a big fighter. He was working hard. He was perfect on the field, off the field. He had really that mentality. Del Piero was able to say, no, I can't play. Now, I don't know. Because a lot are saying, hey, it's because Allegri, but Allegri is not the doctor. If we know that Dybala has a problem, if we speak with the doctors and the doctor says, why not? He might have the opportunity to play, and you ask the player, are you able to play? And the player is saying yes. It's a shared responsibility between the trainer, the medical staff, and Dybala. Allegri is probably the least one that has some problems there, guys. Because you know that you have to win a game versus Venezia, because you need to win every single game. So it's hard. It's really hard. Really hard to blame Allegri on that one, because he wants to win. And if the doctors are saying, okay, it's okay. So I think it's a combination of medical staff and Dybala on that one. If you could sign two realistic players in January, who would you sign? Well, it's really hard now, because I really want to understand what are we doing in our formation? Are we going for a 4-2-3-1 or are we going for a 4-3-3? Or are we going in a 4-4-2? I need to understand what we want to achieve, okay? Because if we want to go with a 4-2-3-1, why is that? Because we want to use a Federico Chiesa, we want to use a Dybala, we want to use a Cuadrado up, and maybe integrating a Kulusevski there as well when Cuadrado is resting, because we have that. But especially for Dybala to have that freedom. And I'm happy with that, okay? But then if we are going for that, we need two strikers. We need one big striker and we need one other double pivot to put next to Manuel Locatelli. Because McKennie, I like him, but he's not the player that will be able to play in that double pivot role. Some people say, yeah, but he's able to do it. No, he's not able to do it. See what and watch what McKennie was doing with Piero. He was really an offensive player, a player that loves to understand the moment going up, and he's a player that will probably do the same, that is doing actually now the same with Allegri. In the 4-3-3, you saw how much he was improving and doing his best. So let's go to sacrifice McKennie in that case until he learns that new position. And then McKennie is probably a smart guy. Maybe he can learn that position. Great. But at the moment, it's not enough, because we need a bit more. So you go for a striker and you go for that double pivot. If we play in that 4-2-3-1, who can that be? Vlahovic is impossible. We have to stop dreaming and being realistic, guys. I know that I put the purple background. It's not because Vlahovic will come from Fiorentina, but Commisso, that is having a really great season. They are above Juventus. He really wants to sell Vlahovic now. He wants to cash in now because he knows that he's a hot moment. He doesn't want to go in Champions League because he knows that if he goes in Champions League, he will have to invest a lot of money in the team because the team will be smashed out, and probably a team like Fiorentina is not ready to do double competition. Going into Champions League, playing 2 games per week for a team for Fiorentina, next year they risk relegation. They will probably put some money into the team and risking relegation. So he's smart. He said, you know what? He's in a top moment. He's on fire. Let's try to sell him now. Not to Juve. Juve, because why? Juve has not the money to do it now for Vlahovic. That's one of the big problems. We don't have the necessary funds. And then asking yourself today, how many percentage chance do you have to go into that Champions League in the 4th spot? Not a lot. Because some people were telling me, Beppe, we can do it. Because the other team, like Napoli, we had Stefan who was saying Napoli, they are losing a lot of games, and they will probably lose even more. I'm not doubting about Napoli. Today Napoli gave us a chance losing versus Empoli. Yesterday Milan gave us a chance drawing versus Udinese. Yes, they gave us a chance, but we were not able to take that chance. So that means that my problem is not Napoli, Milan, Atalanta or Inter. My problem is Juventus today. My problem is Juventus able to do a winning streak of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games. Because then you're thinking, will we do it or not? Because is Juventus able to open the wallet and put 70 million to the table for Vlahovic in January? No, we can't, because we don't even know if we will go into Champions League or not. Will he alone be able to save the season? We don't know. One thing is sure, we'll have to sell. We have to sell. Apparently, Aaron Ramsey, Romeo Agresti said that 100% he will be out next season. No, sorry, in January. And there we will already start winning on his salary. Maybe, because we already paid half of his salary for this year. And then let's see if another team wants to take him on loan for 6 months and then said, yeah, but you still pay a part of his salary. And then what did we win? Not a lot. We just win 1 spot in Champions League because he will not be there. That's one. Arthur, there are some talks, 60-70% of him leaving. Why? Because it's not in the plans of Allegri in the way he wants to play. Okay, fine, but 1 player out, 2 player out, who do you join? And then to ask you if you want names in this kind of 4-2-3-1, I would go realistically on a loan of Icardi. But then you have a big problem, guys? Because what will you do then? Moisken, he can't leave. You can't even loan him out. Why? Because he played an official game with Everton. Moisken, official game with Everton. That's Everton. He played with Juve, and you know that for UEFA, a player is not able to play in one season with 3 different teams. He can join another team, but he can't play official games anymore. So Moise Kean is there. Morata. What do we do with Morata? Today I saw on One Football, guys, let's see, I can show you, but I don't know if it will happen. I don't know. But apparently, if you see here, there is another Serie A team that wants to give a chance to Morata. If we read the article, apparently it's Jose Mourinho from Roma who wants to take the remaining loan of Morata from Atletico Madrid already in January. He trained him at Real Madrid. He gave him his official debut at the time. He knows him. He said, why not giving that player a second chance? And apparently here it's written, what was written? Wait, here, his performance is in this campaign are worse than last year, and todo fichajes are saying Juve would cancel his loan deal next month if they could. So you see, then if he leaves and you take Icardi in, that's something else. But otherwise, you have Icardi, you have Morata, you have Moise Kean, you have Caio Giorgi, and none of them are really great. We don't even know if Icardi is the player he was in Serie A, because at Paris Saint-Germain, it's not that he did wonders. Let's check the first 6 months of this year, what Icardi did with Paris Saint-Germain. If we look at this season, he did 3 appearances. Is Icardi the solutions to Juve? I don't know. He did 3 appearances, 0 goals and 0 assists this year. So I was a fan of Icardi back then when we heard the name Icardi linked with Higuain. Higuain or Icardi, Higuain or Icardi. I said, man, take that Icardi. Super happy that we took Higuain. I'm super happy. I will never regret. But at the time, I was a big fan of Icardi. It's a killer. It's a killer. Or he was a killer. Today, I don't know. Today, I'm asking myself, is he the answer? Probably not anymore. Probably not. And then in the midfield, the names that we are hearing, Zakaria is the name that we are hearing. There is a competition starting now on that player because he was too much on the paper. So there are interests of other big teams that we can't compete. Rovella will not come back in January. So, Colo, honestly, I don't know. All that, I'm speaking since 15 minutes to answer your question that I didn't give you any answer. I see the situation like being invited to a formal party and you are wearing top quality pants and 2 luxury jackets and no shirt. And all clothes are not matching. You end up looking like a clown. Today, Thomas is in a poet. He's in a poet mood because it's beautiful. It's a beautiful way of analyzing the situation. Because our team, individually, are they really bad? No. Individually, I'm sure that Kulusevski goes to Arsenal because apparently Arsenal on the players, they want to do an official offer of 30 or 35 million euro. It goes there, it becomes the new Thierry Henry. It becomes a phenomenon. I'm sure about that. I can guarantee you that. Rabiot goes to, Manchester United, and you see that Rabiot will finally start playing good. Will he be a phenomenon? No, let's not exaggerate about Rabiot. Let's see. Ciao, Robin. You see, but at Juventus, it's probably in a difficult moment of Juve, in a moment of confusion, it's a bit maybe too much for them. It's a bit too much for them, guys. Then you have people that are already fighting. Also Steve, he has also his problems. It's a fact. When you are a hot girl, it doesn't matter what you wear. We are Juve. That's a counter poem to Thomas. Depends where you are. Arif, it's not always true, because sometimes you can go into one event, and if you are dressed in a gala event, in a beautiful gala event in an opera, and you go with your swimsuit, even if you are a girl, it will not be really appreciated. You will not be at your ease there. People will not welcome you and look at you with the respect that you need because you have a swimming suit in an opera event. You see, it's true that I will watch. That's a fact. We will watch, but will we have the same respect? And we're speaking about men the same. If you are a man that is going with a nœud papillon, you know, this kind of beautiful smoking, and you go to the opera, you have immediately a presence. If I go to the opera with my Juve 21-22 shirt, I don't know if people will take me seriously when I will say hello to the people. I saw that, Miodrag, the problem is always the same. The problem is always the same. It's the salary. True, but true. Now, guys, it's the perfect moment for the papers to throw a lot of names out. They will guess one. Of course, they will guess one. At a certain moment, they will guess a name. Right, but it's the best moment because what are they pushing on? Juventus needs players in January. January is approaching. They need players. Let's go. What can they do? They know that Arthur will probably leave. We heard the voice and the words of his agents. So I'm just checking here. Okay, stipendio, the salary of Luis Alberto. Okay, let's see that. No, I don't want to see on FIFA, but maybe here. Okay. Luis Alberto is the 10 of Lazio. Without all the bonuses and so on, Luis Alberto, he has a salary of 2.5 million. 2.5 million. That's the salary of Luis Alberto. Arthur, he has a salary of 5. The most paid player at Lazio, if I'm not wrong, is Immobile with 3.2, something like that. Together with Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, they are more or less the same salary, just above the 3. That means that you have a player that nearly didn't play this year, that didn't find his spot in Serie A, that was bought, and that's correct, was bought for Sarri. Sarri can't wait to see him back. But Arthur will be the top player of Lazio with 5 million. Impossible. So what will it be? A loan with probably Juventus paying a bit of his remaining salary for 6 months. But they will never buy him. They will let you believe that they will buy him, but they will not because they don't have the money. So what will it be? A loan of maybe 6 months or maybe 1.5 years, so 18 months loan to Lazio with a part of the salary paid by Juve to cover. Maybe they will go to 3.5 and Juventus will continue to pay 1.5 million for a player that is not even in our team. Of course, 1.5 is better than 5, and then after these years, we'll probably try to sell him. And that's the reality. That's how it works. So I don't believe it can happen. Now, if you just purely speak about the names, yes, Luis Alberto is a player that Sarri is not seeing them playing with Milinkovic-Savic and is a bit more offensive. He can play vertical. He has the pace. He can run. He's a fantastic player. Can he goes to Juve? Do we need a player like him? Yes. Arthur is a player for Sarri. He would fit perfectly with Sarri. So, sportive-wise, it's a big, nice change. The reality is giving me something else. But Cavani is taking a lot of money. I don't believe Cavani can come. I don't believe so. Let me check if I missed some comments. Because today I will not stay too long. 2 formation. One with Dybala, one with without Dybala. You know, Hanin, that was my biggest my biggest anger of yesterday. It was the fact that when Dybala went out, we had no plan B. We saw it versus Malmö in the second half, how disaster and disgusting we played versus Malmö. Let me take a drink, guys. It's a Grodino. Let me take a Grodino, guys. I'm coming back. Wait 1 second. I'm back. Do you know Grodino? Do you know Grodino? Mamma mia, Grodino, guys. Hey, guys, I'm not sponsored, huh? But by the way, Grodino, if you hear me, sponsor me. I love that so much. Mamma mia. Listen. Cheers, guys. Grodino. Mamma mia, this is so good. So good, so good. But I was super annoyed, by the way. Meanwhile. Ed amo soltanto due color. Ale, 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 oh, ale, 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 oh. Thank you, Katana. I love that name, that nickname, by the way. Thank you for becoming a member of the channel. Thank you. For deepest of my heart, buddy. Thank you. Let us know, Katana, where are you from? From what country are you watching? Fino alla fine, I see now. I see also a lot of people that renewed, like Arif is the second month, Temporary Peace the second month. We already spoke a lot about Icardi, Temporary Peace. Katana is the first time. Welcome, Katana. And let us know from where. But I was super angry, but really angry with not having a plan B after Malmö without Dybala, especially if you know that he is not at 100% of his capacities. So is the plan B Caio Jorge in an unusual position for him? I don't know if that's the real solution. I was pissed off because, you know, I'm not here, I'm not a pro Pirlo, pro Sarri, pro Allegri. I don't care, actually. I'm really honest with you guys. 48 minutes of the live on the 12th of December 21. I don't care about who is the coach, who are the players, Ronaldo, Dybala, De Ligt. I really don't care. I really don't care. I'm not a supporter of a player. I'm a supporter of Juventus. If tomorrow you put, except of some people where they have a red cross, but this is not a lot. But even them, I would close an eye. Whoever you bring me in my team, guys, whoever you bring me in my team, and that is performing well, I'm happy. So I'm not defending Allegri. I'm defending sometimes the 360 degrees why we are doing some mistakes. And we did a lot. We did a lot over the years. And now we are paying. We are paying the consequences. It's the name of a former band, Romania. I didn't know. I will try to find it. Katana is indeed, huh? Okay, it's a discussion. Katana is a samurai sword. I love that. I love the katana. I love it. I knew when I said whoever comes to Juve, I knew that the names would be crazy. And I said, that's why I really said before it was too late, there are some names with a red cross. And Aldo Bonasso immediately he found one of the names that I don't really know on the bench of Juve. And it's Materazzi. Guys, no, let's not exaggerate. There are a few like that. I don't know if you are able, if you want to if you are able to find the names. But Materazzi is one of them. No, guys, let's not exaggerate it. Massimo Pavan, he's the director of Tutto Juve. He wrote, apparently, sicuramente oggi lo spirito della Juventus lo trasmettono più le Juventus Women che i giocatori della Juve, sicuramente più di quelli scesi in campo in Venezia Juve. Today, the spirit, the DNA of Juventus today is shown more by Juventus women than by the men, especially the one that were on the field versus Venezia. It's totally correct. Totally correct. Look, we were speaking about the expected goals, and Faris Hatsibaskawe-Sevic is saying the expected goal, or saying that Juventus is third. We are not finishing. We are absolutely not finishing. That's a big problem, huh? Big problem. I saw a comment that was super nice, actually. Where is it? I saw a comment that was super nice, that was out of context here, from Lorenzo. Lorenzo is saying, Beppe, I would love a Chiringuito in Serie A. I know the Spanish culture, guys. The Spanish culture is different than the Italian one. It's different than a lot of countries, because I had the chance to work for nearly 3 years in Spain. I was not based in Spain, but I went there every 2.5 weeks. Sometimes it was like 2 weeks and 3 weeks. And I spent there a few days. I was leading a team of 100 people in Spain. And Spain is a show. Everything is a show. Everything is a drama. Everything is exaggerated. Everything is a dramatical show. I loved it. I was really at my ease. I miss Spain really hard, because I love the culture. I love the way of thinking. But everything is exaggerated in Spain. The emotions are times 4. And a Chiringuito is a format made for Spain. Serie A, they have their way of doing it, with Caressa, Bergomi, all the shows you have. They love the polemics about was there a foul or not, was it a penalty, was it a handball. They love to speak with it with, beautiful suit jackets and shirts, and then they are speaking, having, that professionalism, or trying to show it. While Spain is totally different. You remember when I was putting the song in some dramatic moments, when I was doing like Juventus did 1-1 versus Venezia. Game day 17. Juventus lost their identity. There are a lot of problems at Juventus. The players are not performing. They are not able to do simple passes. Allegri, one of the most winning coaches of Juventus, is at doubt. The fans are angry. They don't understand the situation. It's Nedved. It's Agnelli. It's Cherubini. It's Beppe. Beppe from Twitch. This is Chiringuito, guys. I love it. I really love it. But I don't know if it will work in a lot of countries. Some people, they love when I do this kind of jokes. Then other people, they really hate it because they said you are a clown. I don't know if the world is ready for that. I don't know if the world is ready for a Chiringuito other than a Pedrerol. I love him, guys. I have a lot of people that I watch, also out of football. A lot of people that inspire me in their way of doing, I love, for example, a French YouTuber is called Squeezy. It's totally not about football. He's inspiring me how he do his video, his way of storytelling. I love it. I really love it. Thank you, Beppe. Thank you, Beppe. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Stefan. And I will answer for that one. I love his way of explaining. I love Mr. Beast in his exaggeration, but also in his work ethic. In his always his creative mind to find new ideas of doing crazy things. I love Willou, French sport speaker on YouTube. I love Ruiz from ex Canal Plus, a sport journalist French who is doing a lot of things. So I have my kinds of references, and Pedrerol, Josep, is also one of my references. I really love because I think that you can learn by watching others. That's why I go a lot of time, my free time, I go on other channels, Twitch, YouTube. I watch what they are doing to inspire me and to become better. So did I ever considering an acting career? Yes, I did. Actually, to be honest, not really only acting, but I wanted to be to working in the movie industry, directing, writing, doing these kind of things. That was when I was younger. That was one of my ideas. Then I heard that at the school it was a really, really complicated and difficult school in Belgium, that you had to pass an exam to enter. And I was lazy and I said, no, I don't care. I will do something else. At the end, I didn't succeed. But yes. So let me continue to read some comments. Katana is saying that he believes that we became too much attached to players. I love loyalty, but hear me out. Allegri is here to stay. He won't be dropped, so let's drop excess. Let's give him a team for his system. That's, for me, according to me, Katana, one of the biggest problem of Juventus. If there is one thing that I could change, except of the medical staff, it's that we start like now with Allegri to plan again 3-4 years ahead, and that we start buying players for a coach. Really important. But that we give them the players. Super important. I actually trust Allegri. If he can't sort it out, this team, not many can't. But you know, guys, that's why I will. You can love or not love Allegri. Okay, I understand. But I believe that we have to respect one thing of Allegri, is that Allegri had multiple chances to go in other teams. It's proven, okay? He spoke also publicly about it, and you will never mention publicly other teams saying thank you, like Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid. He knew that the situation would be difficult. He knew that 90% of the chances were there to lose Cristiano Ronaldo. And he came back to Juve in a really difficult moment. Knowing that it would not be easy. Maybe he was thinking that Juventus was probably a bit better than it was, or that he was thinking, maybe. But he came, he accepted the challenge for the love of Juve, and not a lot would have done that. So at least he will have my support. Then my support doesn't mean that he's holy, that he does everything correct, because he did already some mistake this year. He did. Everyone did. This is Beppe, absolutely. Arif, I saw your channel or around Turin. What is it about? How do we support? I can show you. If you ask, I show, of course. Arif. So you can go on Instagram or you can go on Twitter. I will show you. So around Turin, my great friend Maurizio, every year in December is actually doing the awards, social network awards, okay? The social network awards from the year for the best social network awards around Juve, okay? Around Juventus. And it's nothing to win. There is nothing to win. There is not a car. There is nothing to win. It's just for fun to say thank you for people who actually do something for Juve on social media. Not necessarily on YouTube, but it can be just because you have a Twitter account or an Instagram account, or you have a YouTube channel, or you have both, whatever. every season. And this year he asked also to put out all the famous journalists like Romeo Agresti, for example, that was winning year on year, because at a certain moment he had all the votes from all the Juve community, Italian and English one. So this year he said no official journalists like Monblano, Agresti, and so on and so on. Will focus on normal fans that have accounts. And how did you enter them? It was actually by people that were mentioning you. They had like 3, 4, 5 days to mention your names, and the 32 with the most mentions, they enter the contest. So you see, we are now 32 people, and it starts tomorrow, and I will have my first battle versus Nostalgia Juve. They have a page on Instagram. If you see Instagram, I will show you Nostalgia Juve. They have a big page here. They have a nearly 50,000 subscribers. It's a big page, so I have to compete with them. And you see, GJustjuve, Nostalgia Juve. Then the winner will fight versus Elvin de France, big account on Twitter. He has a YouTube channel, or versus Sandro Sky, and then you go to the final. So how will you help me if you want to? It's on Instagram and on Twitter. There will be some polls between the battles, and you click on my name. That's it. That's it. So hopefully you can help me and support me. I would love to. I would love to. Guys, I already spoke too much about that. They are doing investigations. They were looking for a paper for a secret agreement with Ronaldo. They gave up because they never found one. Thereby, guys, Juventus will not go in Serie B. That's also a big comment. I'm loving the team because I see the new Juventus that is going to be, that is actually in the making. True. The only thing that I am a bit perplexed on, I have my doubts, is the fact that I would have loved a bit more, changes. If we are building towards a new, then probably I would expect a bit more changes. Good night, Liam. Wait, my only problem with Allegri is this. He's not stepping up, admitting some of his fault. It's always bad luck, not clinical enough, or just the team. I'm trying to think, because I'm watching all the press conferences of Allegri, and I translate them also in the Telegram group. So I'm trying to remember, when did Allegri said my fault? And actually, to be honest, I don't remember out of mind one time that he said it was my fault. That's true. That's true. Why? Because he's a really smart person, Allegri. If there is one thing, is that he's a really smart person. He knows how to communicate, and he said things on purpose. It's not just like that. It's really planned what he's saying. Probably he's not saying it's my fault at the moment. Why? Because he wants to put some responsibility on players. Because probably he sees a lot of players that are not taking their responsibilities, that are not accountable and not giving the max to what they are doing. And from the moment he will see that, he will probably put himself maybe on the foreground, but he doesn't want to give the players more excuses that they are probably already trying to find at the moment. He doesn't want players to think, it's because the coach did mistakes. What would make sense, because then you lose also a part of your team. He already knows that a lot of people are criticizing him with the Allegri out hashtag. Today, I promise you, guys, I was reading some things. against Allegri that were really horrendous. I was reading, for example, but it was really strange. I was reading that people said I stopped watching, but big Juve, old fans, and not new fans or kids, adults that were saying, I'm not in love with Juve anymore. I will not watch until the coach will leave. What does that mean? What does that mean? You will not watch until the coach will leave. Probably next game they will be in front of the television, but it's hard to see these kind of things. People are telling me, Beppe, go on the Instagram of Federico Chiesa. So let's go on let's go if you want to see the account of Federico Chiesa. Federico Chiesa. That's a picture. That's a picture of 3 hours ago. Beautiful picture. Beautiful picture. He knows the moment. Grande Federico. Missing him is hard, huh? Buonanotte Aldo. Pepe, the goal that we conceded versus Venezia was not Szczesny's fault, but I believe that was a 43 years old Super Gigin goal. He makes the save. We will never know, Dan. First of all, we will never know. Secondly, I watched some of the games of Parma, with all the respect to the best goalkeeper of the world. He's doing some saves on penalties, and we see the images of the penalty saves, and we are all happy, and we say grande Buffon, but we have to see the 90 minutes, and he did some big mistakes this year as well. So I don't know. It was a big shot from the distance, covered by Bonucci. Bonucci was right in front of him. It's a team. I agree, Katana. But what do you want? Some people, today we are going, especially now that everyone has a voice, some people are going really towards, I don't defend a club anymore, I defend my own ideas. If I said that I didn't want Allegri back, I will do whatever. If he wins, I will criticize him because we didn't win. Beautiful. If he's doing a draw, I criticizing. I will find and check the stats that are proving me that I was right, and that's where the new way of communication is going toward. And I see a lot of people laughing, mocking their own favorite team. Some are against management, and pay attention. We don't have to accept everything and be happy with everything and saying everything is okay. It's not true. Everything is not okay, because if everything was okay, we would not be fifth. We'd not be fifth or sixth, actually. Sixth at the moment. We would not be 8 points from top 4. We would probably not have an expected goals of 3 and scoring only 1. So the things are not okay. We would not have so many injuries. We would not have so many players out of the team or out of position or not performing well. So we have problems. We have the right to criticize moments, players, coach, staff, whatever. We have the right to do that, because that's also showing that you care about your team. But there is always a way of respect, and then there is not going all crazy, going all crazy and doing some, today, guys, today, I promise you it's true. Today I was speaking about the lineups that we don't have a regista. We have to make Locatelli play there, and probably we are limiting him in that position because we have nobody else. And someone said to me, Beppe, let's try Sule in that position. Let's try Sule. But what do you mean? The guy is a right wing in a 4-3-3. Offensive player on the right side of the field coming in. What do you mean? We'll try Sule as a regista. Some people, they like this. Let's try Sulle. Yesterday I saw something else. Yesterday I saw a video of Buffon in the World Cup versus France. The penalty that Zidane scored. And Zidane, he scored, with the Panenka in the final of the World Cup, scoring to Buffon, boom. The fans were commenting and so on, with best midfielder ever in the world, big Zidane, great Zidane. And the comment was, I would never understand how Zidane had the balls to do that versus Buffon in a final of World Cup. And then you see a comment below, the answer was, but Zidane, he said on an interview that it was the only way to score to Buffon because they trained so long together. Buffon and Zidane, they trained together and they knew each other perfectly because so many times they had a penalty versus each other because they knew themselves so well thanks to the trainings. And then you see the likes under that comment that there were nearly 100, but really soon, with people saying, wow, what a beautiful interview of Zidane. The problem is that Zidane never played with Buffon at Juventus. Actually, they never played together because it was thanks to the fact that Zidane went away that Buffon came in 2000. So, I don't understand. And that's the problem sometimes of social network. You write something out of your mind like this, okay, and this is the new truth. Depending if you have a lot of likes or not, it will be the new truth. And that's why I'm always cautious when some big news account, they are not controlling themselves in some comments they do about we are shit, we are not good, we are a finished club, disaster. I'm not happy with these kind of things because you have a big influence, and if your role is to report news, just report news, because a lot of people are just having you as a touching point. So pay attention. Second best fake Juve story. It's true, guys. On Twitter, you can see a lot of fake news. A lot of fake news. Unfortunately, Juve is not helping itself with not being able to sell 75% of the capacity of the stadium. They need to find a solution that will help financially. Don't know why the atmosphere is dead. This is another thing. A lot of people were complaining with Juventus that they were stupid because they didn't build a stadium of, 70,000 spots, seats. 70,000, 60,000, they will never be able to welcome a Champions League final and so on, because the stadium is only 42 and you need at least, 50, I believe, for Champions League. Guys, Juventus, they really knew what they were doing, and we were lucky to win 9 years in a row and attract a lot of fans. Torino is not Barcelona, it's not Milano, it's not Madrid. And what do I mean with that? I'm speaking about the cities. Torino is wonderful. It's a really beautiful, really, really beautiful city. I'm in love with Torino. But it's not a touristic city like the other one that I just mentioned. Like London, for example. It's not a touristic city like that. That means that in the stadiums of Milan, Barcelona, Real, you have also a lot of people that are there casually because of tourism, and they have the opportunity to go to the stadium. If you are in Barcelona and you have the chance to visit, you go, because it's beautiful. It's really I went to the stadium of Barcelona, I went to the stadium of Real Madrid. Unfortunately, they were not playing, so I was inside the stadium, but I couldn't attend the game because when I was there, they were not playing. In London, you go, you watch the stadium, you see, because you are there and you go to a game. In Torino, you don't go casually to Torino. So you don't have the attraction of tourists in Torino. And that's a problem. Then you can say, yeah, but it's Italy, you have a lot of... Yeah, it's true. It's true. But it is what it is, guys. And then you have other problems that are next tourism. You have other problems with the ultra that are not happy because they had some agreements, and these agreements they are not there anymore. So you have a lot of things that make that at the moment the atmosphere in the stadium is not 100% top. Then I don't want to enter political discussion because I don't know them, but it's true. Now, Demiral will not come back. Why? Because, or wait, before I say stupid things, if he's continuing to doing great things with Atalanta, they have the right to buy him. So that it means if Atalanta decide to buy him, they buy him, without Juventus being able to say anything. Otherwise, if he's performing bad or if Atalanta changes mind, he can come to Juve, but I don't believe that's the case. That's another thing. They don't even have fans in the stadium anymore. You see, because we forgot the third option is when Juventus is probably doing super bad, you don't have the same will to go into the stadium than when they're doing good, of course. We were selling our tickets really, really expensively, but we were winning, and it's always like that. The demand. If the demand is high and the stadium is full, you can put your prices at whatever price you want. When the demand is low, you start having problems. Ciao, Nick. Nick McCaleb just joined. But I was about to stop. I wanted to do a short one. We can speak a bit about the Champions League draw of tomorrow, of course. So if I go back to around Turin, so don't forget that from tomorrow, watch your social media, Instagram and Twitter, and you vote for me. I don't know if I will win or not, but you have to vote at least. But if we go back to around Turin, we can open that beautiful page of tomorrow's draw. So look at the teams. These are the 16 teams that are possible to play. These are the 16 teams that remains now, the round of 16. We can play versus Atletico Madrid, versus Benfica, versus Paris Saint-Germain, that's 3. We can play versus Villarreal, versus Sporting, and versus Salzburg, 6 teams. The statistics are saying that there are higher possibilities for Juventus to play versus a Spanish team. If I'm not wrong, these were the statistics. You had Atletico Madrid and Villarreal that were leading, and third one was Paris Saint-Germain, if I was not wrong. So that's tomorrow, 12 p.m., if I'm not wrong. Steve Cano is saying, I want Paris Saint-Germain or Atletico Madrid. But, guys, we are having one of the most difficult seasons since 2008, 2009, 2010. When we were at our top, we won versus big teams and we lost versus small teams. Small on the paper, speaking about Ajax, speaking about Porto, speaking about Lyon, we were lost versus them. So, it's I don't know. Where will Juventus be? Will we buy some players, yes or no? If you go on here, what do you see? You see here the new manager, so Ragnick, he can force Pogba out already next month, because in the idea of Ragnick is Pogba will never give 100% of his best for Manchester United, and he will leave anyway in the summer, so out. Will Juventus be able to take him? Yes or no? That's another question. You see? But will we do will we buy some players? Yes or no? Then we don't know. But I want to play also a bigger team. Because Juventus, they show me that we are stronger versus a big team. Then, if you lose, you focus on Serie A. Because you have a fourth spot to try to reach. Because some people, they were saying, Beppe, you are crazy. Why do you want to play versus Paris Saint-Germain? Why do you want to play versus Paris Saint-Germain? Because if you play versus Paris Saint-Germain, you will probably lose 4-0. If you lose 4-0 versus Paris Saint-Germain in the round of 16, or in the quarter, or in the semi-final, or in the final, it means that you don't deserve to be champions of Champions League. As easy as that. So I don't care about being out now or later. I don't care. Yeah, of course, I can do more videos if we stay longer on the channel. We can have a bit of emotions, and that's fine, and that's well. But if you have to lose 4-0, I'm speaking about 4-0, it doesn't change whenever you face them. So let's face them immediately, and then we are going out. The only great theory I saw was the one of Arif, who was saying, Beppe, I want Villarreal because it's probably the only team that is never pressing. And then it makes also tactical sense, because Juventus is suffering teams that are playing with a big pressing. I know, Juventus, UEFA wants Paris Saint-Germain. I know that. So let's see. It's true, but the difference is not that big. Until I was watching it. Juventus already won 80 million. Why? Because we were first of the group, because we won 5 games, because 2 Italian went out for the next stage, so we divide bigger shares together with Inter, so we had 80, but we will reach the 100 and go over the 100 only if we reach the semi-final or final, semi-final, I believe. So it's still really long, and the difference is smaller now. So the difference is smaller. Yeah, it's still important. 10 million is 10 million, of course. And there are no away goals anymore, and that's an important one. So if you do a 3-3 and then you do 0-0, you will still have to go into the extra time. So that's changed a lot. Ciao Marco. I was about to leave like 22 minutes ago already. That's it. Can Juve win the Champions League like Chelsea? I'm honestly, I don't believe so. Then pay attention. Chelsea one time they did. It's really strange, huh? The history of Chelsea with Champions League. If I'm not wrong, they won it only 2 times. They won it one time with at interim coach, who was Roberto Di Matteo, playing a really defensive football, 1-0 counter-attack, and then they won it with a replacing trainer for Lampard, who was Tuchel. So it's a really strange story, the one of Chelsea and winning the cup. It will not happen with you, and we have Allegri for 4 years, so I don't believe that we will have the same story as Chelsea, with a trainer that comes in for a few months and wins the cup. I don't believe that. That was it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Today was a slow start, and then we went and we start to speak. So it's midnight, guys. I hope you will enjoy the Sunday evening. I also hope that you will enjoy your Monday. Tomorrow, I'm not sure if I will do the morning video because I have to go to work. But probably I will do then a late evening video with the rankings. With the rankings of with the draw of Champions League. That's an important one. That's it. Ciao Riccardo. Ciao Katana. Thank you for all the people that are members, and to the new members. We had Katana that were a new member. We had Stefan, a new member. We have older members like Riccardo, for example. Thank you all the people. Ron Rusitano, that I didn't even mention a lot. Nick is there as well. Thank you, guys. Enjoy the evening. Don't be too depressed, because tomorrow we go again with a full motivation. Let's go. Buonanotte a tutti. Grazie, forza Juve.